Lunch, Lady Doris. Have you got any grease?
Yes, we do.
Then grease me up, woman!
Hey folks, this is Grease Scotsman. Marinara and I are getting fairly close to the next release of the Custom Maps Template. The tools have evolved considerably, and upon release, there are some amazing features that we hope will allow mappers to create experiences that are truly matched only by the limits of their imaginations. I'll be covering each and every trigger and tool in the template shortly after we finally make everything public. That said, sometimes limitations can help breed creativity. For example, I recently gave myself a very specific constraint. Could I create an entire custom game mode using just the new Custom Map Template tools? This exercise was undertaken as a response to folks in the Boneworks modding Discord and Reddit threads, who had a strong artist background and desire to make a cool custom map, but felt worried that they would get stuck because they did not know how to code. My goal then was to discover if there was enough versatility in the tools offered within the template for someone to design an entire game loop experience without having to create any custom scripts. What you're about to see is a scored, timed, endless combat wave arena with difficulty settings, geometric cover that dynamically changes during gameplay, randomized spawns in both location and enemy type, including enemies that run the gamut of size, threat, difficulty, and health, so that the player has to constantly adjust sightlines, stay on the move, and prioritize targets based on threat level. In addition to the random enemies that keep constant pressure on the player, there are also waves of enemies that spawn on a regular basis with impending sound cues. The player can anticipate these onslaughts, but the NPC makeup of those waves is randomized, so full preparation is unlikely, and the pressure to aim well and stay mobile so you survive is ever present. The combat difficulty settings also make death saves far less useful, as you only get a mere 2 hit points out of 10 back, and regenerating to full takes much longer than normal. My hope with this demonstration is to grab the attention of modders who have felt discouraged that they would struggle to make worthwhile content without having a coding background. I still heartily recommend modders learn C#, but I don't want folks feeling like coding skills are a barrier to putting together something cool. And that's just normal difficulty. Mappers can control the frequency at which enemies spawn, how random they are, whether they arrive in waves or as a constant stream. They can determine what weapons are provided, the size and toughness of the enemies, whether they auto-aggro, how much ammo they drop, and so on. And as a little bonus, Tabloid gave me a quick tour of a space-themed map he's been working on, and that led me to revisit something I had tried when I first started modding, and then set aside because I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. The beauty of space in VR, as anyone who's played Lone Echo can attest, is that weightlessness feels very natural in the medium. So, I returned to the idea of making a zero-gravity arena. Now, pulling and flinging yourself around in zero gravity is fun, but it's even more fun if you have thrusters and can truly control the player. The way I've designed these tools is that mappers can decide whenever the player enters a zero gravity volume, if they have access to the thrusters and, if so, how much force they should apply when activated. And of course, once I realized that the player had full control over their movements in zero-G, I just had to turn the zero-G space into a fully functional, scored, tracked arena with goals that recognize a unique game object. In this case, a miniature melon vault power core that players can grab. However, the break grip strength on the ball is not infinite, so other players, from, say, entanglement, can try to grab the ball from you. Here's the fun part. The source code for all these tools, from the grip gizmos to all the custom app interaction triggers, the entire suite used to make Melon Vault, it's all in the template and available for use or enhancement in the Unity editor the moment that you open the project. For those that don't have a coding background, you'll be able to drag and drop prefabs, configure settings and parameters that are fully described in detail using custom Unity inspectors, and still be able to create something at least as complex and responsive to the player as Melon Vault. I've had the pleasure of hearing that Melon Vault is the current pinnacle of custom maps, and I'm not sure I'd agree because there's a lot of talent out there. And while I appreciate those very kind words, my goal with the release of these tools is that Melon Vault is just a baseline from which our talented community can launch to new heights. Thanks for tuning in.